Welcome to the Udamia Hello podcast. I am RJ, followed by Andy. How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing pretty good. It's very late. I'm very tired.
That's true. And this is the latest Andy has stayed up in weeks.
I wish I could say that was true.
Well, hey, thanks for joining us today. This is the Udamia Hello podcast. We are in episode something. I think it's maybe 16. Who knows if you're following along. But this is a show about two dads and their opinions on everything. You didn't ask for it, but here we are anyways. Today we have a guest returning for the second time, but it's the first time he's been live with us. So hopefully he doesn't say anything too crazy. But this is our friend Bill. He is joining us today. That's exactly what he looks like, actually.
That's awesome.
But yeah, let's bring him on. If I can figure out how to. Here he is.
Hey, there I am.
Dude,
Should have just left the emoji. It would have been. There we go.
Did you come up with that?
No, I found it on his Facebook.
All right.
That is me.
There was plenty more that I could have chosen from. I decided to be nice.
Okay, I can see why you used that one.
I was gonna go with like a beardless one of you in front of like a car when you were 12, but
I mean, I have plenty of those. As my dad was a photographer, so that's the life I lived.
So Bill is back
Pictures of
again
me
for
everywhere.
our first live episode with him for the top R&B songs of the 90s.
That is what we're doing.
Yeah, this is it. So
Right.
very happy to do this. This is one of my favorite eras of music, one of my favorite styles of music. I grew up listening to Motown because of my parents, listening to Boyz II Men. Billy and I grew up on Boyz II Men. We may or may
Absolutely.
not have sung Boyz II Men a lot together back in the day.
Maybe.
So Andy, what's your experience with R&B in the 90s?
I'm right there with you, man. This is one of my favorite styles, favorite eras. This was a tough list to come up with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we racked our brains, and
Right.
we probably had like 90 songs when it came down to it.
Yeah, that was a big list.
Yeah, we could have had more, but we really struggled with narrowing that list down. I think we have a very, very good list of the top 32 songs that we feel were the right songs for this list, and we're gonna go through and we're gonna have a winner, and hopefully we do it right. Hopefully, because sometimes when we do this bracket, it's a winner that we didn't think was going to win just because of how they stacked up against whoever they were facing in the tournament. And I can tell you there's some tough ones here in the first round.
Right.
So it's going to be a ride, folks.
My problem was not including too many Boyz II Men songs.
Yeah.
I think
I saw all your Ys on the list, and I went, oh, well.
I could have put in like 7, 8 Boyz II Men. I think we ended up with like 4.5 if you want to count the one with Mariah Carey. So.
I mean, if you're going to talk about 90s R&B, can you really leave out Boyz II Men? Absolutely not. So I think I think that's appropriate, for sure.
And like the 90s was like they grew up in front of us. They really became Boyz II Men.
Eliza is watching. Hi, Eliza.
Hi, Eliza.
Hi.
That is my daughter. She is staying up too late and watching watching my podcast.
Such a bad dad.
Well, you know.
Daddy's on the boring.
There are worse for sure. But anyways, hey, so I guess we got to watch our mouths. But top 90s R&B, it's going to be real hard considering 98% of R&B is very sexy. So it should be fun.
Very.
Yeah.
But,
by the way, I called for the next podcast that's coming out. I called you a dumb face, and my daughter was watching it with me, and she doesn't know that's like a bad thing to say, so she just repeated it, and I was like,
okay.
You said a bad word, and she literally froze and was like, I was like, it's okay.
You know,
she repeated
you're
it.
Bullying. You're bullying, Andy, and it's it's a little.
Well, let's get it started. We're going to probably rush through the first top 32 to get us to the top 16. Once we're in the top 16, we'll take a little bit more time to discuss why we're choosing what we're choosing.
Right.
But let's get it started in
Cool.
here.
Let's get it started.
I actually was
That's not the right
prepared.
era, Andy.
No, get out of my
Well,
brain
hey,
now.
here it goes. First up, "The Boy Is Mine"
right.
by Brandy and Monica versus "Tell Me It's Real" by Casey and JoJo. What do you guys got?
What's your
Boy
thoughts?
Is Mine is a really iconic song of that time. I remember a lot of girls were really into that. Like, you don't get that girl duo anymore in music. Like where girls team up and do their thing together. But I think I'm gonna go with "The Boy Is Mine" with this one.
All right, Andy.
I'm gonna agree with you. Actually, "Tell Me It's Real" is out of all the hits from Casey and JoJo, that's
Right.
one of my least favorites. So
All right. Well, I realized you can see me doing that, but let's just move on. I was gonna choose "Tell Me It's Real." The "Tell Me It's Real," like super good.
It's a good song. It's a good song, no doubt.
Moving on Bended Knee by Boyz II Men versus "Unbreak My Heart" by Toni Braxton. On Bended Knee for me. The music video on Bended Knee, I remember reenacting that music video. Like it's so good. It's not one of their sexy ones. Don't worry about it. But great song. So on Bended Knee.
I also Toni Braxton was childhood crush. Not gonna lie, it's gonna really hurt me to vote her out here, but I gotta go with On Bended Knees.
Oh man, I would have went with "Unbreak My Heart" just for the mere fact that we have so many Boyz II Men songs on here, and out of them all, it's my least favorite. Not to say that's not a good song; it's just out of the collection. And "Unbreak My Heart," I mean, Toni Braxton's vocal range, she hits every note. I mean, it's such a great song. So unfortunately, Boyz II Men's moving on.
I think we have one more Toni Braxton song in there if I can remember right. But if not, I have a couple of notes on her, so I'll say it at some point later. But moving on, "Every Time I Close My Eyes" by Babyface versus "That's the Way Love Goes" by Janet Jackson. Not my favorite Janet Jackson song, but I do love it. But I'm a Babyface fan all the way. "Every Time I Close My Eyes" for me.
We have any other Janet Jackson in here?
We don't. I had "Together Again" on there, but Andy nixed it.
So originally I was gonna say "Every Time I Close My Eyes." Did you know that was actually Kenny G's on that song? But did you know that Mariah Carey is actually a backing vocal on there?
No,
I'm not sure I did.
No,
I just found that out. I was like, well, I'm gonna say that. But I listened back to the Janet Jackson song, and I was like, man, why don't I listen to this more? It's that jazzy hip hop type of beat that I love, and I'm like, that's my pick. As much as I love "Every Time I Close My Eyes," I'm gonna go with Miss Jackson.
Yeah. All right. So it's an extremely tough pick for me because I love both these songs. But I think I'm gonna have to agree with Andy on the Janet Jackson. It's a great song, and it's got that blim, 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 blim. Like I love that. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I just did it wrong, but I love that song, and I'm gonna go with that one.
All right, moving on. "That's the Way Love Goes." Next up, we've got "No Diggity" by Blackstreet versus "Back at One" by Brian McKnight. Another tough one for me.
Really? Yeah. There is no diggity, no doubt what song should win here.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. At the same time with Andy, it's a tough one for me, but "No Diggity" all the way.
I love "No Diggity." Don't get me wrong.
Iconic song.
But "Back at One," that beginning piano and
it's a good song.
Undeniable. Like immediately you want to get into it. But "No Diggity" moves on because the two of you voted it.
Are you gonna just throw your vocal range in every single thing?
I am. I'm gonna sing
feel like
every
this
song
is. I feel like this is just a cheap way for you to throw out your vocal range, which is excellent, by the way. But anyway.
Well, here it is. "End of the Road" by Boyz II Men. "I Want to Know" by Joe. "End of the Road," Boyz II Men for me.
This was a tough one. It was tough because that song by Joe is spectacular, and I feel like if it went up against anybody else, it would probably move on. But "End of the Road" is start to finish, just tremendous song, and it's something that you can close your eyes. Just someone could say "End of the Road," and that's the song you're gonna start singing, and you're gonna remember it. So.
All right, Bill.
Yeah,
You go.
I'm gonna go with Boyz II Men too. I was never really much of a Joe fan. Just I don't know. I mean, like
Stutter.
Yeah, okay, all right. I'll give you the guys that one. Okay, all right, fine. But I mean, it wasn't like I'd go buy a Joe album at all.
Watch yourself.
Yeah, it's just look. It's my own opinion. I'm sorry. I say a bad word. I'm sorry.
Next up is "I Swear" by All for One and "My Way" by Usher. Very different styles, but I love both of them a ton. I am gonna go with "I Swear." It's unforgettable.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with "I Swear" as well. Just because I love All for One, and I forgot like all the really good songs that they've had. And when we did the other podcast, I started going through more All for One, and I just it was just such a good band. I really like that song. I'm going with that one.
My first gut was "I Swear," and then again when I listened back to them and just played them against each other, I favored "My Way." Surprisingly, maybe it was JD going yeah in the back, but I just
it's my least favorite part of the song. All right, good song though.
Next up, we got "Angel of Mine" by Monica and "My Lovin' You're Never Gonna Get It" by En Vogue.
Okay, I know my pick already, but I'll let you guys talk.
I'm gonna go with "Angel of Mine," Monica.
Wow, I didn't think you'd go that way.
I knew he would. And it's such a
you know what? Now that I take that back, I do kind of know he would too.
Is that a hit on like rom-com, RJ? Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah. It's that softer style. It is a great song. That was another one where I had to think about it, but "My Lovin'," it's got that Motown feel to it, which surprisingly, like, how do you not love that song? Like, that is like,
I love that song. It's a great song. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
Yeah,
when they harmonize and that,
super good.
Here we go again. Thank you, RJ.
That was Andy this time.
Yes, you can.
How about you? How about you, Bill? Where we go?
Ooh,
you're the tiebreaker.
I forgot I didn't pick. I'm gonna go with En Vogue.
All right, so En Vogue.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with En Vogue. I love them, so yeah, I'm gonna go with En Vogue. I mean, again, Monica, great singer, just never really was a huge fan of her as well. It was just too slow and too. Angel of Mine's a good song. I can't see myself putting it on and listen to it full through.
All right. Next up, "Creep" by TLC and "Poison" by BBD.
Come on, guys.
It's randomized. I'm going with TLC's "Creep." TLC's album "Red Light Special" was on repeat for me for a really long time, and "Creep" was one of those songs I just really liked it. So,
quick story time. I do remember seeing an interview with them saying that "Creep" was the one song that they didn't want to come out. Because it was actually about something that they weren't about, which is like cheating on your man or like, you know what I mean? Like and they would just after the fact thought about it and were like, I really don't want to put it out. And the record company like pushed them to put it out because it is a really good song. So as much as a big TLC fan that I am, that's kind of like my least favorite song of theirs just because I know that now, which I almost wish I didn't know, you know what I mean? Like, but it's just, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go with Belle Biv DeVoe. Because I love Poison. I love that song, man. You can't not get into that song. That song's awesome.
All right, Andy, it's on you.
I feel like Bill's in a hostage video.
Is it okay? Can I say that? Okay.
This was another tough one. "Creep" is a fantastic song. I don't agree with the message that they're sending.
Right.
But "Poison," as soon as that Cool G rap sample comes in, like you're hitting the dance floor. Yeah, it's an iconic song of the 90s. You think of the 90s, that is one of the songs I think about. My voice just went really gruff for some reason.
Yeah, mine did earlier too. It's late for all of us. We're old men now.
It's all right. I'm actually recording with Andy this week, and we decided to do a hardcore song, and so I'm screaming for the first time in years.
Nice.
And I did it on Wednesday or Tuesday, and I've had no voice for 2 days. So,
okay, we're all old now.
Yeah,
We used to belt out Linkin Park. Now we can't do that anymore.
I don't know if I could do that live anymore. We'll see. Next up, Nobody Knows by the Tony Rich Project versus Twisted by Keith Lee. I think Keith is spelled wrong, but whatever.
It is very much spelled wrong. I noticed that, but I was like,
it's not very much. It's 2 letters are reversed.
Not very much.
Keith Lee.
Keith Lee.
I'm going with Nobody Knows. That's one of my favorite 90s songs of all time. Well, of the 90s. Nobody Knows for me.
Yeah, Nobody Knows for me as well.
That was quick.
I really like that song a lot. Can you play that on the guitar?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'd have to look it up. Why, you want to sing it with me?
I do.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
I'll do it.
This was a toss-up for me, but I would have gone with Twisted. It's just one of those songs that when it came out, like all of my friends in school, like it was like you would walk down the hallway and you'd hear somebody singing it. Got me twisted on. Like his voice is
I'm laughing because when you said that you would choose it, Bill was like, "Oh, like you could tell in his head." He was like, "That's stupid. Why would you do that?"
No, that is not what I thought at all. It was just an interesting choice. That's just what I thought. We would all 3 of us be in unison on that one. But all right,
you do you. You do you.
Right.
Sorry, Andy.
Because Andy's picture just slowly just drifts out of this. Yeah, now it's me and RJ. So,
all right. Well, hey, next up, "Live and Learn" by Joe Public and "When Can I See You Again" by Babyface. Very different categories of R&B music, but "Live and Learn," man. I used to hear that. So, fun fact: I used to fold pizza boxes at a pizza store across the street from my house when I was like 10 or 11. It was one of my dad's friends. His name was Bassam, if you remember, Bill.
I remember him.
And he also owned a mini mart afterwards where I used to stock soda in the back. But I used to fold pizza boxes all day, and there was a jukebox, and then we would play "Live and Learn" all the time. And so "Live and Learn" was really good. But "When Can I See You Again" too, man? Did we drop Babyface from the last?
I was just gonna ask that same question.
I'm gonna go with
Babyface. Move on.
Babyface.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Babyface too.
Ooh.
I am also going to agree with you, even though "Live and Learn," fantastic song, but
yeah,
it's Babyface.
Yeah. All right, this is a tough one, guys, because it's the same people. Again, randomized. "Motown Philly" by Boyz II Men and "One Sweet Day" by Mariah Carey featuring Boyz II Men.
I know we just moved on, but not for nothing, we could give Babyface a lot of credit for a lot of the songs that we have on these lists because he wrote a lot of stuff for a lot of people. Tony Braxton, a lot of people. But anyway, that's just
today.
Yeah,
He actually wrote this podcast too.
He did, word for word. What was the 2 again? I'm sorry.
Motown Philly and "One Sweet Day."
Okay, so quick fact: I voted no on every Mariah Carey song because I can't stand her. I just when I hear her voice, I just no, thank you. It's just a personal thing. Look, I know. I just that song I can kind of get into. I'm going with Motown Philly. It is an awesome song, so I'm going with Motown Philly.
All right, Andy, what do you got?
All right, this one was the one. Like I saw this matchup and I was like, no, because in my mind, I'm like, these are 2 of the best songs of the 90s, like without a genre. Like you just don't even think of genre. Those are two of the best songs, maybe ever.
And I will say with my thing with Mariah Carey, I will listen to this song "One Sweet Day" because it is with Boyz II Men.
Boyz II Men. I'm going with "One Sweet Day."
Ooh, okay, all right. Fun fact:
iconic. You got Mariah and Boyz II Men.
Right. You kind of Boyz II Men wins at any cost at this point.
And that music video of Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men going into the studio in the old factory and singing the song, I loved it. "One Sweet Day" is actually a song that Carey was writing about a past collaborator named David Cole of CNC Music Factory. So the one half of CNC Music Factory died. She began writing the song for him and ended up turning into a song about loss for anyone, and mainly actually the AIDS epidemic in the 90s, in which Mariah Carey's sister, I think, had HIV in the early 90s. So she wrote a song for AIDS as well. So kind of all the above. But with that being said, Motown Philly is my choice.
Really?
So
wow.
Yeah,
I knew it. But I didn't know all that. That's pretty interesting.
I did need to share that story because it's in my notes, and I knew they were leaving, so I needed to talk about
that was in my notes as well, and I thought they were going to move on.
I do love that song, but if I'm listening to a song,
clearly you don't. So
Motown Philly is it's pumping. But don't worry, Andy, we have more Boyz II Men for you. It's Anywhere by 112 versus I'll Make Love to You by Boyz II Men.
Do you know how many babies were made in these songs? Like this, I call this the baby making bracket right here.
It is a baby making bracket.
I already have a kid on the way, so we're
one is just like sweet.
That's right.
And
Congratulations.
And the other one's just like dirty dog. And I'll make love to you.
What?
That's it.
Really?
That's my sentence. I'll make love to you by Boyz II Men. Oh man, yeah. How many times can you hear it? Like I feel like it's so overplayed because it is one of the best songs ever, but it's over. I didn't think I was gonna pick this, but I'm going with Anywhere by 112. I listened to these up against each other, and I was like, I'm going with it. Anywhere. Yeah.
And not for nothing, I was gonna say the same thing. I find myself surprisingly going against Boyz II Men on this, but I mean, how many Boyz II Men songs do we have on here? So it's not like I'm voting them out. And I really do like that 112 song. So I think we're gonna go with 112 on this one.
All right, 112. Moving on. I really do like Anywhere as well. 112 had a couple really good hits that I liked. So I do like I'll Make Love to You. The vocals in that are amazing. But 112 moves on. Next up, we have a little bit of switch up here. We've got Babyface's own John B with Someone to Love and Are You That Somebody by Aaliyah. John B, man. Babyface wrote a ton of stuff for John B. He was responsible for basically making him famous along with about 700 other people. But I do love that song. But John B didn't do much else. He had They Don't Know as well. But Aaliyah, gone way too soon. Are You That Somebody's my pick.
My stepdaughter, fun fact, is named after Aaliyah. Her name is Julia. And I hate to vote out John B because I really love John B. But I'm gonna have to go with the Aaliyah song on this one because I do love that song.
Okay, all right.
I would have voted for Someone
John
to
B.
Love. Yeah,
I figured you would have.
It's a great song. It's a great song.
Yeah,
great song.
I'm not. I'm not hating that Aaliyah moves on. Both fantastic songs. Very hard choice.
Works.
Next up, we have Candy Rain by Soul for Real and Killing Me Softly by the Fugees. Guys, at Candy Rain, man, I can every time that comes on, I'm singing that song. And now I know the Fugees' Killing Me Softly is probably one of the most popular songs ever created.
Well, I mean, cover song.
Yeah,
too,
that's true.
So,
but I'm going to go with Candy Rain for me.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. I'm going to go with Candy Rain too. I mean, you can't think of the 90s R&B without adding Soul for Real in there. So
again, I would have went with the Fugees on this one.
Really? Andy, I thought that was going to be a unanimous one too.
Yeah, I like both songs, but
I love the Fugees too. I love them.
The Fugees, that album, the score is such a fantastic album from start to finish.
Yeah.
And they, most of their hits were hip hop. And then
the Mask.
Lauryn Hill's like,
that was a good song.
No, let me sing on this by myself. Like, and it is a cover of Roberta Flack, but man, Lauryn Hill.
I wasn't saying that in a bad way. I was just, adding it in.
The music video when she's in the movie theater, right? And it's on the popcorn of the screen. Such like those are the things I remember from my childhood. So,
all right. Next up, we've got All My Life by Casey and JoJo versus Too Close by Next. This is a tough one.
How long did it take for people to realize what Too Close was about? as a kid, you're just like, yeah, this is a good song. And then you get older, you're
Right.
like, they say, what? They're talking about who?
Oh, that was on the radio?
That was on the radio. Like,
Yeah.
the thing that he said at the beginning, he's like, you said,
I
what?
wonder if she could tell.
Yeah, it's like,
Quite
how'd that pass
suggestive.
there?
Right.
I'm going with All My Life. It's the too close. It's on too much. Like, it's still on the radio constantly now. Like, you turn to like the 90s stations and it's just blasting, and I find myself skipping it all the time. But when All My Life comes on, like, you roll the windows up and you just scream. You just All My Life.
Yeah. All My Life is kind of me and Tiffany's song, so got to go with that one for sure. That's definitely my pick on that one.
Moving on, All My Life by Casey and Joe.
Would that have been your choice? What would your choice have been?
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
I do love Next Too Close, but it's a song that I'm
For
not
sure.
allowed to listen to anymore with how many kids I have. So
Right.
haven't been able to give it its listen anymore.
Of course, there's going to be a couple songs on here I feel like you're not going to be too familiar with.
Not Gonna Cry by Mary J. Blige and Right Here by SWV.
All right. So this is me and RJ were talking about this before because he didn't put any SWV on his list. And I was like, they were the epitome of female vocal groups of the 90s, like En Vogue, SWV, TLC, like especially early 90s. Like SWV was like, they had a bunch of songs. It was tough for me to choose which one of theirs I want on here, but that version with like the Michael Jackson sample in there too, like that's still on the radio all the time. Oh, man, but this is a tough one. I really want to hear from you guys first because I'm still kind of undecided.
I'm gonna go with Not Gonna Cry by Mary J. Blige.
Oof. So I'm the tiebreaker here, huh?
No, I don't know what I want yet.
Oh, all right. I see what you're saying.
I still haven't looked at the menu yet. I'm that person.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. You know, I was thinking this while I was looking through the list, and it's like, what happened to like girl power groups? Do you know what I'm saying? Like them, like En Vogue, like TLC. You don't see that anymore, and I feel like now more than ever, that's what the world needs. Like, is like positive girl groups like that. But I'm gonna go with SUV. SWV. I mean, sorry, SUV. I'm tired. SWV. I'm gonna go with that one just because of the Michael Jackson sample in there, man. You can't go wrong with that song. It's awesome.
Man, I'm going Not Gonna Cry. I'm surprised that the words are coming in my mouth, but Mary J, so much emotion.
She is fire.
So much emotion in that song. Like, I think maybe 10 years ago, I would have said SWV. Boom. That's my pick. But, as your tastes kind of evolve and you really think about what she's saying in the song, like it's so powerful. And like,
I agree with that as well.
I think that's the first round. Is that it?
It is. This is it. So we have made it into the second round, the top 16. Guys, if you've been following along with us today, we are going over the top 90s R&B songs. And we are joined by special guest Bill, who is from our childhood.
He is a cartoon.
But while you're here, we've got some other stuff as well. Just to remind you, we've got music that you can look up. We are releasing a new song tomorrow. I think it's called A Way Out, correct? Is that the one we're doing tomorrow? So for you guys, that's like 3 weeks old, but check it out. That's on Spotify and all other streaming sites, and also YouTube. We put up lyric videos as well. So feel free to download that. But we're ready to go into the top 16. Here we go. The Boy Is Mine by Brandy and Monica versus On Bended Knee by Boys to Men.
I think Bill kind of touched upon it. Like, you don't see that two powerful female vocalists on a song very often. And they had a very good dynamic in that song. It's again one of those songs that was super, super popular, no matter your age group. Like I remember being in school and everybody singing that. And like I said before, Bend a Knee, great song, not one of my favorite Boyz II Men songs. So I'm gonna go with Brandy and Monica.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with Andy on that, just because there's plenty of Boyz II Men to move on. And yeah, you don't see that anymore. And I mean, the closest you get to that now is what, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. Like, it's not positive to girls at all, So, hashtag positive girl groups. Let's make that happen.
Even though they're fighting over a guy.
Listen, they're doing it nice.
What would you have picked?
Why does it even matter?
RJ,
what is life?
For the record, on Bended Knee, Boyz II Men is among the
That's a good song.
Elite. They have spent 50 weeks cumulatively on the #1 chart for Billboard history. They are fourth of all time behind Elvis Presley, the Beatles, and #1 Mariah Carey, who's also on our list.
Yeah.
My favorite.
We should have more Mariah on here, but
we should have. However, I would vote that Mariah Carey is more pop than R&B, and so if we do a 90s pop, I would throw in 5 other Mariah Carey songs. Emotion.
Right. I would agree with that completely.
Always Be My Baby. You can even go a little bit. Vision of Love. All that stuff. So
let's end it right now. Let's just do.
Next up, we do have That's the Way Love Goes by Janet Jackson and No Diggity by Blackstreet.
Oh man, I mean,
guys, No Diggity was their first big single. The song actually reached #1 on the Hot 100, and it ended. Here it is. This is why I'm voting for No Diggity by Blackstreet. It ended Macarena's 14-week reign on the top of the Billboard Hot 100.
Stole my notes.
Really?
Something to be said for that.
Yeah, my bad. I was like, that was super interesting. I wrote it here.
My fault.
Show it. I can proof. Yeah, I mean, such a great song. Even if you don't like R&B, you don't like hip hop, I feel like you're still gonna like that song. You got Dr. Dre on it too. Queen Pen, who very underrated as a lyricist. I like her a lot. No Diggity, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to in unison say all 3 of us No Diggity.
I'm saying that.
Love that song.
Tomorrow.
No doubt. All right, moving on. End of the Road by Boyz II Men and I Swear by All for One. 2 powerhouses. However, End of the Road did set a new record at the time for staying 13 weeks at #1 on the Billboard's Hot 100. I am going to go with End of the Road. That video of End of the Road, I used to have it on VHS and watch it.
I remember that, unfortunately.
So End of the Road for me. I used to listen to that song in Spanish, El Camino del Femino, or whatever.
Yeah, you knew every word of it too, and you didn't even know Spanish. You just knew every word of that song.
So End of the Road for me. End of the Road.
That's hilarious. I'm gonna agree with you. End of the Road.
Yep, that's unanimous again. End of the Road.
We have a 3-way for End of the Road.
Yeah.
Next up.
And you worried about me saying inappropriate things. I mean, I'm just trying to be a good guy over here.
Look, I got a little plus sign because it's so long. My Lovin', You're Never Gonna Get It by En Vogue versus Poison by BBD.
Oof. This is another tough one.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
I'm going Poison. I'm gonna rip off the Band-Aid quick. Just go Poison.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go with My Lovin', You're Never Gonna Get It. Andy, what do you got?
Break the tie, Andy.
So, I don't know if you ever looked at Urban Dictionary before, but if you look up what poison is, I'm not going to say what the description is. It's a little vulgar, but I will say the sentence that it was in. This is quoting Urban Dictionary. Belle Biv DeVoe said it best and said it first. Never trust a big butt and a smile because that girl is poison. I just thought that was hilarious.
That is true.
Man, My Lovin' is so good.
It is.
It's what I've been told. That's a fact. Okay. En Vogue, vocal powerhouses. Man, they had so many
Positive
hits.
girl groups again.
Yep. Dawn Robinson went on into a group called Lucy Pearl. If you've never heard of Lucy Pearl,
No.
a Tribe Called Quest DJ, producer, Ali Shaheed Muhammad was in there.
Well, I'm with that.
And Ralph Sadiq from Tony.
I'm going to be checking that out. I'm going to put that in my notes right now.
Yeah, they made one album, and then Dawn left the group. Somebody else came in. So, but I just remember seeing those three names because Tribe Called Quest is my favorite hip hop group, and I was
Me
like,
too. I love them.
Following them, and then I was like, oh shoot, them two singing too. Oh man, you'll probably recognize a couple songs, but Poison, oh, Poison, just like they stick it to you, like, and it's such. It's got that New Jack swing in there, like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you going with Poison then?
I gotta go with Poison.
All right, Poison. Moving on.
Poison.
Next up, we have Nobody Knows by the Tony Rich Project versus When Can I See You Again by Babyface. To me, these guys sound very, very similar.
I was going to say,
very.
Today, I realized that the Tony Rich Project was not Babyface in disguise. I was seriously like, this whole time I've been like, oh, that was like Garth Brooks when he went on that other name that he did.
Yeah,
I just thought that was like
RJ knows it. Chris Gaines, yeah. Chris Gaines. I knew RJ knew it.
I used to have that.
Loved him.
It's my favorite.
I know.
I'm gonna go with Nobody Knows by the Tony Rich Project. I love Babyface. He wrote everybody. He wrote Tony Braxton's full album. He wrote Boyz II Men's End of the Road. I'll Make Love to You, On Bended Knee, maybe Water Runs Dry as well.
Yeah, we should look up if he even wrote this song because I think he might have wrote Nobody Knows too.
That might be true. So
it sounds very him.
Sure. I'm gonna go with that. How about you guys?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tony Rich.
All right. I would have went with When Can I See You Again?
With Babyface. Yeah, it's a good song. You hear that guitar pop.
Fun fact: Nobody Knows by the Tony Rich Project was not written by Babyface, but he's on Babyface's label LaFace. So,
all right, I knew something with them too because I knew they were. Yeah.
Next up, we have Motown Philly by Boyz II Men versus Anywhere by 112.
So this is the one where I chose Anywhere last time, but Motown Philly.
Motown Philly as well. And we all know what RJ's picking, so let's just move on.
I mean, there's not
it's going to be a Final Four all Boyz II Men against each other.
It might be.
There will be a Boyz II Men song in at least the top 3 today. I know that.
Anywhere by 112, great song. But Motown Philly's so fun. So
right.
Yeah. Plus, it's
we
all.
used to have a lot of fun with that song back in the day.
That's true. All right, next up, we've got Are You That Somebody by Aaliyah versus Candy Rain by Soul For Real.
Baby girl.
Yeah.
Timbaland's got the
Timbaland. Yeah, Timbaland is a fire producer. I really, really like Timbaland as a producer.
Oh, man.
Well, I was going to vote Candy Rain. Soul For Real's been around a long time. I think they're still doing their thing. But after you just did that,
Yeah.
Are You That Somebody by Aaliyah for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. Yeah,
it was tough trying to pick what Aaliyah song we wanted in here. Like, there's got to be at least one in here. She had so many great songs in such a short amount of time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I'm gonna agree with you both.
All right. Aaliyah's making it on. Aaliyah did pass away in 2001 from an airplane crash. So that was really sad. I think she was only 21 years old, or something like that.
Yeah, she was really young.
But in just that short period of time, she had another hit. I think One in a Million was another big hit.
Rock the Boat.
Yep. She sold an estimated 30 million albums.
Yeah, she was definitely destined to shoot way beyond where she was, and it's crazy, Gone too soon.
Next up, we have All My Life by Casey and JoJo and Not Gonna Cry by Mary J. Blige.
Oof.
You know what? For me, this is going to be a weird thing to say. Casey and JoJo remind me of Save the Last Dance because they had Crazy on the Save the Last Dance soundtrack. And so whenever I hear Casey and JoJo, no matter what song it is, I just think about Julia Stiles learning to dance. All my life, Casey and JoJo for me.
I'm going to agree with that for the same reason I agree with it last time. And it was a tough one because I really wanted to actually vote for Mary J. Blige the next time she came around because I really like that song. But you put it up against what's going to end up being my wedding song, so can't do that.
I would have voted for. Yeah, I would have. Again, this was a tough one, but I would have gone with "Not Gonna Cry" again for the power behind the lyrics. A woman scorned, wasted 11 years of her life. She says, with her man, and all she's got left is her kids. She's that video too. She sets all the stuff on fire.
Yeah, it's powerful.
What movie was that from? Why can't I remember?
Is it
Waiting to Exhale?
Not Waiting to Exhale. It was Waiting to Exhale.
That one?
I know she's on it, but I don't know if Not Gonna Cry is the one it's from.
Yeah, maybe not. I could be mistaken it with another one. But
it wasn't a movie though.
You're right. It was on the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so.
That's
a really excellent soundtrack, by the way.
It is.
So that would have been my pick, but
excellent movie too.
Yeah. What's funny is I've never seen the movie. I only had the soundtrack.
Really?
Yeah, I think my mom actually had it, and I started listening to it. And again, Babyface he produced the whole album. And you had Exhale, Shoop Shoop was on there with
Whitney Houston.
He legit wrote every song on here, along with the performers. But Whitney Houston's on there, Toni Braxton's on there, Aretha Franklin, Brandy sitting up in my room.
We had no Whitney Houston on this list?
We did. So pre-list, she was on.
We did, yeah.
Yep. We ended up. I Will Always Love You was the one that ended up on here, even though in my head there was probably 4 or 5 more.
Not R&B though.
She might be in
more
the
of a love song.
Yeah, she might be in the top.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of good stuff on that. I remember listening to that. SWV was on there with All Night Long.
Yeah. That was a good soundtrack.
There you go.
You what?
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Hey, I think we're in the top 8 already, guys. We're making.
Yeah, we're moving along this one pretty quick.
Yeah. But here it is, top 8.
All right.
You can't really see that from here, but The Boy Is Mine by Brandy and Monica versus No Diggity by Blackstreet. Tough one.
That is a tough one. All right, I'm gonna go with No Diggity, no doubt.
If it makes you feel better, there are 0 people listening currently.
Okay, cool. So No Diggity for me.
No Diggity. All right. Andy?
I can say that. No Diggity.
No Diggity. Okay. All right. You know what? I probably would go with No Diggity as well.
Man.
It's a great song. Great song.
Good song, Boy Is Mine, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next one is it's got its roots.
I thought Sitting Up in My Room would have ended up on this list, by the way.
I wanted that. But
it's a good song. I like it.
Next one is A Connection, End of the Road by Boyz II Men, and Poison by BBD. Belle Biv DeVoe being a huge inspiration for Boyz II Men, also appearing in Motown Philly, ABC, BBD. But for me, End of the Road for sure. Anybody else?
I'm gonna
Was it Belle Biv DeVoe that showed up on Fresh Prince?
No, it was Boyz II Men.
No, when they were doing the music video in or was that? Was it Belle Biv DeVoe? And they were trying to do the music video, and Will's friend Mike kept trying to get into the music video, and he kept dancing.
It was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The Butler did it. Was the name?
That was one of the funniest things ever of that show.
What a great show!
My kids are watching that show right now. We are in the first season until it gets highly
awesome.
But we're watching that and they love it. Liam, my 6-year-old, is literally talking about it during class. Have you guys seen the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Everybody. No.
That's awesome though. You gotta keep them schooled on the old school, man. Yeah, you gotta give them the old school cartoons like Rugrats and stuff.
Yes, we watch Rugrats. We're also watching Boy Meets World currently. So
awesome.
Yeah, of course. But so End of the Road for me. I think you just said End of the Road, Billy.
No, I'm gonna go with Poison.
Ooh, okay, all right, Poison. Andy, you're the tiebreaker here.
End of the Road.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna. All right, I'm just gonna. I just feel like the top R&B song, 90s R&B song, it's more of a sad song, end of the road. To me, it's not R&B. That's more of like a slow love song, like type of.
R&B.
I don't know if it's like the top 90s R&B song. You know what I mean? Like I love it, but I don't think it's like the number one to me. That's just my opinion.
Well, they're on the top 8.
It is.
We'll see.
All right. Well, here we go. Next up,
All right.
Nobody Knows by the Tony Rich Project versus Motown Philly by Boyz II Men.
I know. I'm going with this one.
I'm gathering you're not going sad. So
No. And as much as I like that Tony Rich Project song, I'm going to go Motown Philly, just because I really like Motown Philly too. That's like my favorite Boyz II Men song, I think.
Motown Philly's back again.
Yep. Yeah, and Water Runs Dry. I love Water Runs Dry.
Water Runs Dry was on my list originally.
I know. I voted it.
And 4 Seasons of Loneliness, but
sorry.
Yeah, but like those are songs that like nobody really knows. 4 Seasons of Loneliness.
I saw.
Yeah, exactly. Like me and you know them, but
I saw Boyz II Men about a year and a half ago. Right?
Did you?
Yeah, I saw them at Twin River. It was an awesome show. There's only 3 of them left. The bassist Michael left the band back in 2003 due to his scoliosis and a couple other things. But
was that what it was? Oh yeah, because he always had the cane, right?
Cane, yeah. Everybody thought the cane was like for fun, but it was
no, that was a real thing.
I'm actually gonna replace. Hey girl,
science mystery.
I got my deep voice in.
So, Andy, what are you going for?
Hey, baby.
Motown Philly.
All right, it's a 3 for Motown Philly.
Nice.
Well, and my mouse is missing. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Secretly want to see that one go all the way, but
next up, we got "Argue That Somebody" by Aaliyah and "All My Life" by Casey and JoJo.
Oh,
I find myself
I knew it would come down to this.
I find myself more often, if All My Life comes on, skipping it. Not all the time, but a lot of times I'm just not in the mood for it. Where Argue That Somebody, man, like Timbaland catches you with the beat, and then Aaliyah's singing comes in and just keeps you there. So I'm going with Aaliyah.
Argue That Somebody by Aaliyah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Aaliyah as well.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Mine means nothing. I would go with "All My Life" by Casey and JoJo. It's like such a song that belts out.
It is.
But I do love the beat
Excellent
of that song.
And they were not.
The meaning behind "All My Life" is personal for me, and I really do love that song. But man, I just R&B wise, gotta go with Aaliyah.
Yeah, and I was thinking too, like going into this, I was like, man, we don't have any Jodeci on here, but Casey and JoJo.
I mean, how many songs were we really going to put on here, though? We could have put a million, you know.
So they're representing Jodeci because they were part of the group. So
that's true. I didn't know that until doing the research for this. That Casey and JoJo.
Oh yeah.
Casey and JoJo also that "All My Life" song was at the Hot 100 for 3 weeks, number 1. They also won an AMA in '99 for being the best R&B group. So they did a ton of stuff, and they're still together. They actually did break up at some point. And then they got back together in 2013. So
they're brothers. How did they break up?
Really?
As a band, you know what I mean?
Maybe one just like stopped texting them for like a few months. The other one was like, hey, "Why don't you come over sometime?" And the other one was just like, "Yeah, bro, I'll have to work."
So we are in the top 4.
I think Bill's going to heaven.
This is
no, I'm sorry. I just had to let the cat out.
Let the cat out, Bill.
Bill.
Well,
Bill.
We have the top 4 now, but before we do, just a friendly reminder: we are on YouTube and on all the streaming sites, Spotify and such. So feel free to go back and check out some of the older episodes. This is, I think, episode 16, possibly, but it's real good. We go back. You got top 90s. We got top 90s one-hit wonders, which I think Bill was on for that one. And we've got
guys. It's real good.
Who knows?
It's really good.
It's really good.
We don't know what number we're on. We don't know who's on with us. It's just it's
real good, bro. It's just real good.
It's just real good stuff, bro.
Trust me, bro. It's real good.
Check us out.
But anyways,
all right.
We got our music out there, so check it out.
Cool.
It's real good too.
And a big thank you again to Bill. I just wanted to show that again, but big thank you to Bill for coming on the show again. The dudes with an orphanage of children, and he could be doing a bunch of other things. But...
And apparently, I live in South Park, Colorado, so that's where I live.
But anyways, we're at the top 4. Here it is.
Nice.
How many Boyz II Men?
Just one. Two. Sorry, 2. We've got No Diggity by Blackstreet. We've got End of the Road by Boyz II Men. We've got Motown Philly by Boyz II Men. And we've got Are You That Somebody by Aaliyah. So, getting
this
into
is the fire top 4.
No Diggity by Blackstreet versus End of the Roads by Boyz II Men. End of the Road.
Oof.
End of
what
the
are
Road.
You doing, Andy?
Set that record for longevity. It was 13 weeks at number 1. They broke their own record with I'll Make Love to You, and then they broke their own record again with One Sweet Day. In saying that, I'm going to go with No Diggity.
Man.
It's only because I'm banking on the other one.
Right.
But No Diggity by
Same
Black
reason.
Street.
Same reason here. Yep.
Yeah, ending Macarena's reign, it deserves number 1.
It's going to have to go up against no Motown Philly, though. You know that, right?
Possibly.
It will.
Where are you, Bill? No Diggity?
I'm with No Diggity.
Okay.
I would have went with End of the Road.
Ooh,
and I really thought RJ was going to go End of the Road.
Yeah, we swapped.
I wanted to, but I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know if I want 2 Boyz II Men songs in the top 2. But
yeah, because I thought that was going to happen for sure. In the top 4, we're going to have 4 Boyz II Men songs.
End of the Road, like, I'm being dead serious. Like, the time that
It's a good song.
Experienced something sad or emotional in my life, or a funeral or something like that, that's the song that plays in my head.
Of course.
And it's just, man, it's an emotional song. Like, sometimes.
But when you think 90s R&B, though, do you think End of the Road?
Yeah, I do. Like,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a powerful song, and they're singing their hearts out. Like, that's what
they are.
You know. But hey, No Diggity, no doubt.
All right, moving on. We've got Motown Philly by Boyz II Men and Are You That Somebody by Aaliyah.
Yeah, this one's a little easier.
Really wanted Aaliyah in the top 2.
Oh, Motown Philly for me. Again, super fun.
Motown Philly for me.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Motown Philly for me too as well. Motown Philly, that video of them hanging out in Philly and getting the cheesesteaks and chinos and all that deal. It's a great one. And I think, who is the guy who does the rap in Motown Philly? Isn't that BBD? Or is there somebody?
That's one of them.
No.
They're from
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. I was thinking of somebody else.
I'm going to watch that video, and tomorrow for work, I'm going to be wearing my denim shorts and Timberland boots and a hooded sweater.
So it was.
Listen, I wear a jean jacket every day, so I'm always 90s.
It was Michael Bivins who did the guest rap. He also co-wrote the song with them. It was filmed in various locations in Philadelphia, where the group is from.
Born and raised.
They were from Philadelphia.
They spent most of their days.
Another Bad Creation in Belle Biv DeVoe, where also in there. I can't. Trying to ignore you.
I'm listening, RJ. Yeah.
Also, Questlove.
Good facts.
Is in that video.
My love.
Is he?
Love that guy.
Is
he? Oh, yes, he is. I saw him say that in an interview. Yeah.
Well, that's crazy.
Also, this song was featured in Full House as well. So, good stuff. But Motown Philly.
You listen to the Roots, Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you just said that they played it in Full House?
They did. It was in a 1991 episode, Gotta Dance.
So was it like
I do.
Uncle Jesse, Uncle Joey?
I don't think they were singing. I think it was just featured in the song, but it's also in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, too. So the main characters rehearsed an a cappella version of that song to try to win a spot to open for Boyz II Men.
Yeah, it was a hilarious episode. I know you probably don't watch it, but it's hilarious.
If you watched our last episode, I do not watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
No, I figured that.
It did make it to the top 4, I think, right?
I maybe so.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't even. We don't even know what episode we're on. Do you think I remember that?
All right, guys, this is it. The top 2 songs of the 90s: No Diggity by Blackstreet and Motown Philly by Boyz II Men.
I'm going Motown Philly.
I wish we could. All right. I wish we could play the like. I wish we could play.
I
music right
know. I'm playing them both in my head, but man, I'm with Motown Philly.
Anybody else?
I'm not mad at that being the top 90s R&B song.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like either one.
Right.
is
Either way,
deserved.
yeah.
But I'm going with the song that I probably don't skip when it comes on the radio, whereas one more often than not I will because it's played all the time.
Where is he going?
So my pick is
drum roll, please.
Motown Philly. I wanted you guys to be like, wait, is he frozen?
I was like, oh no! He's gonna add a drum roll in later.
Should have done the countdown. That would have been better. You know what? My vote doesn't matter, but Motown Philly as well. So I think it's
awesome. I'm glad we're both three of us.
As Andy heard me say before, it's anonymous. Motown Philly by Boyz II Men. It is the number one song.
That's awesome.
Of the 90s.
Great job, Boyz II Men.
Yeah, I'm not bad at it. I'm not mad at that.
You're bad at it.
I am bad at it, but I'm not mad at it.
So there it is, guys. Motown Philly is our winner of the top R&B songs of the 90s, brought to you by printyourbrackets.com. But yeah, it's good stuff, guys. Now, we could talk forever about songs that we didn't put in there, but just off the top of your head, what are some other songs you wish were on the bracket?
I was saying, I wish there was a couple more Whitneys. And what else was I gonna say?
You said a couple more.
Honestly, as much as I don't really like her, she did deserve a couple more spots on here. Mariah and
I have a
couple more Aaliyah songs, but
yeah.
I feel like Usher's "You Make Me Wanna" was a better song
for sure. For sure, I would have probably voted that one up a little more.
And this one RJ vetoed, and I agreed. Was no, I'm sorry. He vetoed the 112 song. Why can't I think of the name? But Totals Can't You See with Biggie.
That's a good one too.
And I love Tevin Campbell. Can We Talk was just such a fantastic song.
That is a fantastic
round.
song.
Yeah, Tevin Campbell.
Yeah, he's excellent. And yeah, we should have definitely had a couple of his songs on here. But
didn't he date Ashley on Fresh Prince too? In an episode?
He might have. I only know
that may be true. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he was her first kiss, but I remember she had like a crush on him, and then he asked her out or something like that.
I only know Tevin Campbell because I used to have this soundtrack called The Rhythm of the Games, and it was the 1996 Olympic soundtrack, which sounds weird to have, but it was Tevin Campbell.
It's weird that I remember that.
It had Corey Glover doing a cover of Imagine, which is the best cover I've ever heard of Imagine. Soul for Real was on there with You Gotta Believe in Love with Monifa. Boyz II Men did a Star Spangled Banner version. And then Tony Rich was on there. Casey from Casey and JoJo, Mary J. Blige. It was a great soundtrack. For me, I think what's missing was probably Destiny's Child No 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 Part 2, which was a great song. I also really liked Brandy's Sitting Up in My Room. Have You Ever?
We said that. Yeah, they're Sitting Up in My Room.
Brian McKnight, Anytime was another really good one.
He's done a bunch of really funny videos lately. They're really funny.
Another good one that we didn't put on here was PM Dawn's Set Adrift on a Memory Bliss. And actually, Backstreet Boys covered that song on their first album. And they actually did a very, very good version. It was an a cappella kind of version. It was music. It's music, but it's really good.
I mean, PM Dawn's was a cover as well. But I actually like I Die Without You more out of those two songs. Again, that's another very slow song, very emotional type of song, and something as a kid, like I had only heard it a couple times, but I always remembered it for some reason as a child, and as I grew up, like I would always like look for that song. So I play that one a lot.
yeah, I mean, thank you guys for joining us. This has been an awesome episode of You Dab Me at Hello. 3 dads today. You didn't ask for it, but here we are anyways. Hope you enjoyed it. And this is episode 15. I was incorrect. It is episode 15.
Okay, close. You're very close.
But that's it. So we'll see y'all later.
All right. Bye, guys.